ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So I welcome all of you to this weekly Gita part session of Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. So we are discussing right now Bhagavad Gita from the chapter 2. So in this session, in the first half an hour, I'll discuss few verses and then we'll open the forum for the question and answer. And the same thing is live in the YouTube channel in the Abhimanyu pran in English. Those who missed or those who have not able to attend, later you can see that in the YouTube channel. Hare Krishna. So if you have Bhagavad Gita with you, please open Bhagavad Gita second chapter, verse number 21. We are going to discuss verse number 21. And this section is very interesting section because here Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna the difference between the body and the soul. So this section some say is a Sankhya because Krishna is telling that we are not this body, but we are the person who is residing inside the body, that is the soul. So very interestingly, Krishna is giving different perspective and trying to make Arjuna understand that we are not this body, but we are the spirit soul that resides inside the body. So let's try to understand the verse 2.21. Those are the books. Please open the books so that it will be easy for you to understand. And this part is a little technical, but try to understand it because it is mentioned that if you understand the technicalities of the Bhagavad Gita, the philosophy, then it's become very easy to practice the devotional service. It's like if you want to make a building, then you have to make a proper foundation of that building. And when the foundation is strong enough, then it can withstand the building and it can tolerate all the cyclone, wind, rain, all the things. Similarly, so when you have a strong foundational philosophy, then that makes it easy to practice the process very nice. So these things are very important part of the devotional service of a bhakti cult, about the knowledge of the soul. So this is the section from the verse 11 to verse 30. Lord Krishna is explaining about the knowledge of soul. So we'll recite the verse 2.21. Veda vinasinam nityam ya enam ajam avayam katham sa purusho partha kam ghadayati antikam. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna, what is telling? Veda vinasinam nityam. Veda means what? Veda means आपको पता है क्या? You know that is called Veda. Veda in Sanskrit, Veda. Veda avinasinam nityam. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna, oh my dear Arjuna, you know that this soul is avinasinam. Vinasa means destruction, destroyed, vinash. इसका विनाश हो गया. But Krishna is telling avinasinam. The soul is undestructible. It cannot be destroyed. It is eternal. Nitya means what? Nitya nityanam. Nitya means that thing which remains forever. That is called nitya. So the soul is indestructible and it is nityam. Who is telling? Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna. And then what is telling? Second line. Ya enam ajam avayam. Ya means what? Ya means he is telling about He who means the person, Veda, the person who knows this knowledge. Krishna is telling the person who have this knowledge that soul is indestructible, soul is eternal, and then Ena means the soul. Azam means Jam means born. Ajam is the person who is doesn't born. Azam. The soul is unborn. Avayam. Vaya means what? Vayas. Vaya means what? You said in Hindi na, apo kitna vayas hua hai. Vaya means your age. What is your age? Avayam. The soul never get old. So Krishna told 4 characteristics of the soul. What are the 4 characteristics? You can write in the chat box. The first thing, avinasinam. Avinasinam means what? It is not destructible. Second characteristic, nityam. It is eternal. Third characteristic, azam. It is unborn. Like we born from a mother, the soul doesn't born. It is eternal. Always it is like that. And the fourth, Krishna is telling, avayam. It never get old. It is always fresh youth. Just imagine. Nobody wants to become old, right? Everybody wants to remain youthful. So this soul is ever youthful. Only the thing is that we have to uncover this soul. We have to realize that we are not this body, but we are the spirit soul inside the body, and which will never be decayed. So these are the 4 characteristics. I will request all the participants, please open your chat box and write these 4 characteristics of the soul and the meaning, so that when you write something, it registers in your mind. Otherwise, if you hear, then there is a high chance that it will come out from your ear. So make a habit of writing the important points. That will help you to remember it permanently. So then Krishna is telling, Veda vinasinam nityam ya yenam ajamavayam. Ya means the person who knows that the soul has this 4 characteristics. That person, katham sa purusha partha, O partha, son of Pritha, Arjuna, katham sa purusha, that person, katham, how can that person kam ghatayati hanti kam? Hanti means what? Killing. How can that person kill anybody? Very important thing Krishna is mentioning here is that the person who knows that the person who knows that the soul is indestructible, soul is eternal, how can that person kill somebody? Or how can that person become the cause of killed by someone? So see, Krishna is inspiring Arjuna. Krishna is inspiring Arjuna because Arjuna is thinking that I am the cause of their death. So Krishna is telling, you might have become the cause of their death because of your ignorance, but the Krishna is telling you, I am giving you the knowledge that the soul is eternal and the soul is not going to die. The person who having this knowledge, it will do the action, then it will not come. The reaction will not come on. So this is the sutra Krishna is giving. It's like that, where very nicely Vijayji has written, and then Sashi ji has also written the characteristics of the soul. Very nice. So thank you for writing the points. So here Krishna is telling to Arjuna that having the knowledge of all these things about the soul, if you will kill them, then the reaction will not come. Why? Because you know what you are doing. You are not doing out of ignorance or out of hatred. You are doing out of the dharma, to establish the dharma, and you know the knowledge of the soul. So then let's try to understand what is His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of iskcon. So we'll discuss also the salient point of the purport based on the Prabhupada's commentary, because he is the founder of the iskcon and he writes brilliant commentary to all the sloka. Let's try to understand what he's explaining about this sloka. The Prabhupada is highlighting the theme is that everything has its proper utility. Prabhupada is telling everything has its proper utility. So what does it mean? Prabhupada is telling even the violence, himsa, has its utility. Just imagine you are staying in your home and some person comes and they started attacking your relatives. So what you will do? You will just stand there and see that, or you immediately will take something and attack that person, or try to protect your relatives, right? If somebody is attacking your mother, you can't just see, wait and see and call police and police will do his duty. No, you can't wait for the police. He's attacking in front of you, so you have to do something. Whatever is possible according to that time, place, circumstance, you also can bring some and do the, you have to attack that person so that that person may get it may run away from your house. So that's what Krishna is telling Arjuna, because these persons are in the side of the adharma and they have attacked the dharma. So it is the duty of you to attack them and kill them. And you know that they are the soul, they are the soul residing inside the body, and the soul is never going to die. The soul is not going to die. So nothing is going to come upon you. Why you are so bothering about all this? So Krishna is like an just telling Arjuna and helping Arjuna to come out from this frustration of not fighting. And then Prabhupada is giving a nice example. Prabhupada is quoting an example from Manu Samhita and is telling that in Manu Samhita is a scripture where the rules and regulations are given, what to do and what not to do for the mankind. So in the Manu Samhita, it is mentioned that if a person kills somebody, so then the king punishes that person by hanging. Faansi de deta hai. So somebody may say that how cruel the king is, how come he is giving an order of hanging that person, killing that person. It's very cruel. So actually, Manu Samhita explained, actually it is good for that person to kill. Because that person has killed somebody, so if the king gives him a capital punishment and he gives a hanging order, then it is good for that culprit. Why? Because all that sinful reaction that he finishes in that same life, and in the next life he can get a good life. But if he doesn't get that punishment, then after death he will be tortured like anything. And the next life will be like an hellish life. It will be very lowly life, and you have to suffer from all the miseries. So actually, in one sense, it is very good that if he is punished in this life, then all the simple reactions that will be finished in this life, and in the next life, you can begin a new prosperous life. So that's what the Manu Samhita explains. So my point is that what Prabhupada is telling, everything has its utility. Knife is not bad. It is bad when a thief uses it for killing somebody. But the same knife used by a doctor to protect somebody's life. So knife is not bad, but how you are using that instrument, that decides the utility. Similarly, violence is not bad, but how the violence, if it is used in a constructive way, then that is good. That's what Krishna is telling Arjuna. Don't think that violence is bad. We are using the violence for protecting dharma. So this violence is need of the hour. So please get up and fight. That's the message of Krishna is giving to Arjuna. And then it's mentioned that Prabhupada gives a brilliant analogy. He tells that sometimes the doctor does some kind of operation on the patient, and the patient may feel very awkward. What kind of a doctor is cutting my body? He's taking out all the organ, cutting, bleeding. I'm bleeding. What kind of merciless doctor he is? The patient may curse that doctor, may scold that doctor. But actually, in one sense, if you see, the doctor is giving a temporary pain so that his life become comfortable in the future. So he's cutting the body to do the operation so that the permanent pain of his body he can remove and he can live a happy life. That is the motive of the doctor. But to do that, the patient has to suffer from some temporary pain. That's what Krishna is doing here. Arjuna is thinking that how can I kill Bhishma? How can kill I Drona? They're my relative. But Krishna is telling this fight is a need of the hour. It will not kill them. Then how the dharma will be established? So please fight. It will kill these persons, then the whole Earth planet will be happy and all can live peacefully. So for the peace to become to the Earth planet, we have to kill this 11 Akshani Sena. Then all of the people of the Earth planet, they will be happy. If we not kill these people, then the whole Earth will be in misery because they are in the adharma and they will torture the others also. And then a nice question may come. Arjuna may ask question, Krishna, just see if I kill this body, okay? I agree that you are telling soul is unborn, soul will never destroy. I agree. Still, if I kill this body, then Bhishma, Drona, Karna, they identify themselves with the body, right? And if I'll kill the bodies, that means what will happen? They will get unhappiness because their bodies are destroyed. So ultimately they'll get unhappiness. That was the point of Arjuna. So to reply this, Krishna tells us 22 verse of the second chapter. So let's try to recite the verse and we'll understand what Krishna tells, how he replies Arjuna. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani ghananti naroparani tatha sarirani vihaya jirnani anyami samyati navani dehi. So Krishna is telling, my dear Arjuna, your point of concern is very valid and you are thinking a lot. Let me answer your query. Krishna is telling, Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. Yatha means just as. Vasamsi means cloth. Jirnani means old. When your cloth become old, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, when your cloth become old, navani grinanti naro vihaya means you throw the old cloth. When the cloth become old, you throw it. And what you do? You go to a super mall market and you purchase a new cloth. Navani, new, grinanti, you take a new cloth. Naro parani, naro, the person, aparani, he accept a new cloth. Just like when the cloth is old and it is teared, you throw the old cloth and you take a new cloth. Tatha, similarly, tatha sarirani vihaya jirnani. Similarly, when the body, the sarira, vihaya jirnani, jirnani means become old. When the body become very old, you throw the body. The soul throws the body. Anyani samyati navani dehi. Dehi means the body. Dehi means that person who stays inside the body. That is the soul. So what does the soul does? Anyani samyati navani. He takes a new body and accept that. So now the main point of Krishna is that children can relate it. Children, young boys can relate it very nicely. Young boys and girls. When your cloth may not be old, but when you get a new cloth, all becomes really happy. Yes or no? All become very excited to have a new set of clothes. Especially children, they wait for a festival or a birthday so that the father, they'll bring a new cloth to the children, and children really become excited to wear a new cloth. I remember when I used to be a child, I used to wait for all the festival like Saraswati Puja, then Ganesh Chaturthi, Diwali vacation, the Dasara festival, summer vacation. Because in this occasion, our parents, they used to give us new clothes. So all the children, they feel very happy when they get a new cloth. So Krishna is telling, my dear Arjuna, you are thinking that they will be unhappy because they will lose their body. But I am telling that in contrast, they will really become happy. Why? Krishna is telling, because when your clothes are tore apart, when your cloth are tethered and they're old, rotten, you throw that cloth and you take a new cloth and you become happy wearing a new cloth. Similarly, when the body is rotten, when the body is decomposed, when the body is old age, and they're coughing, all the diseases are there. Bhishma, so old. Just see, this old body gives lot of pain. And at that time, Krishna is telling the soul really wants to give up that body. And that is actually a happy moment because he gives up that old body and he gets a fresh body. Tatha sarirani vihaya jirnani. Sarira, he gives up that old body. Anyani samyati navani dehi. And he gets a new body. So actually the soul is happy and it is delighted to have a new body. So Krishna just clarified Arjuna's point that actually it's not a moment of a sorrow, it's a moment of happiness because the soul gets a new body. So don't worry about that. So Krishna just clarified Arjuna's point. And let's try to understand few of the salient points from the purport of Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is telling here that somebody may say that now I'm killing so many soldiers. Arjuna may think that I have to do atonement. So Prabhupada tells that if somebody kills the person while doing his duty, because you are fighting the war, so in the war, no matter how many soldiers you may kill, there is no need of atonement because you are performing your duty. Just like a person, if he is fighting the war and he may kill so many soldiers of the opponent army, no need to do any atonement, no need to do any punishment because he's doing his duty. Because if he'll kill in his own colony somebody because of some personal fight, then the police will put him under the jail. So that's what Krishna is saying. Don't worry because you are fighting, so it's okay in that fight. So Krishna is just clarifying Arjuna's doubt here. And then Prabhupada is telling that actually so scientifically Krishna explains the presence of the soul in the body. But our so-called scientists, they don't believe on the soul. What a ridiculous thing Prabhupada is telling. And then Prabhupada tells that they don't believe on the soul and simultaneously they cannot also explain the source of energy of heart. How the heart beats, how the heart pumps the blood, from where the heart gets the energy. The scientists cannot clarify it. They don't understand it, this concept. And they don't believe on the soul also. The Prabhupada is telling what a kind of a ridiculous thing. They don't have that knowledge also, and when the Gita, Bhagavatam gives the knowledge, then they are not ready to accept. So it's simply mere foolishness. Prabhupada says. So then Prabhupada tells that so at the time of the transmigration, the soul transformed from one body to another body, and by the mercy of super soul, he sustains in another body. And then Prabhupada explains about the two friendly birds, the story of two birds. The soul and the super soul are like the two birds. They sit under a tree. And one bird is busy in eating the fruits. Right? And another bird is just waiting for that bird to look towards him so that that bird can help that bird to go to home. But one bird is busy in eating the fruit that he doesn't have a time to look towards another bird. So the bird who is busy in eating the fruit is the Jivatma, the servant. And the bird who is looking to help that bird is the Krishna, the super soul, the master. Just imagine Krishna loves the Jiva so much that even the Atma is there in a snake body or in a reptile body or even in a warm body in a stool, still the Paramatma goes and stays with the soul. Just imagine how much he loves. And we have forgotten that God. And we are thinking that, where is God? Just imagine how much the God loves the Jivatma and you have to reciprocate the Jivatma and take the Jivatma back to Godhead. That is how Prabhupada is highlighting that God loves all. And that is the greatness of Krishna. And then Prabhupada is telling that actually what is the cause of transmigration? Why transmigration happens? So the main cause of transmigration, Punarjanma, rebirth, is that the Jivatma has forgotten the relationship between the Jivatma and the God. The relation has forgotten by the Jivatma. Because of that, the Jivatma tries to enjoy this material body. And because of this enjoyment tendency, then God has to create so many varieties of the life. 84 lakh species. Okay, you want to drink blood? Okay, become a tiger and drink blood. You can't do that in the human life. Okay, you want to sleep for long hours? Become a polar bear. Sleep in the snow. So whatever desire, varieties of the desire the human beings creates in his mentality, in his mind, God wants to fulfill that by creating so many varieties of species. Otherwise, there is no other agenda of creating so many varieties of species properties. So the main thing is that forgetful of the relationship between the Jivatma and the Bhagavan. So then what is the solution? So Prabhupada is telling it's like uh, the Jiva is struggling so hard in this tree, in this material body to sustain himself. But it's not possible to sustain because birth, old age, disease, death is there. So Jiva is continuously struggling. But Prabhupada is telling the moment that Jiva agrees to accept Krishna as the supreme spiritual master, that moment the relation is established. Just like here, Arjuna was taking Krishna as a friend, but he was bewildered and he was not able to take a decision. And the moment Arjuna tells that, Shishya se hamsa vimantam prapanna, I am now your surrender, a disciple, my dear of Krishna. Please accept me as your disciple and instruct me. That is the moment Krishna smiles. Why? Because Krishna also understood that till now he was my friend, but now he become my disciple. So Krishna is smiling. Okay, at last you accepted me as a god. Okay, listen now. And from that moment, Arjuna got that clarity, and Arjuna could take the decision properly. So that's what Prabhupada is highlighting, that in our life we have to accept a spiritual master, and we have to surrender ourselves to the spiritual master, and we have to accept the instruction of spiritual master and inculcate that in our life through Gita and Bhagavatam, and that is the success of human life. And by doing that, we can break this continuous cycle of birth and death, and then by that we can go back to Godhead. So today we discussed Bhagavad Gita verse 21 and 22. We discussed in the verse 21, Krishna explained that Veda vinasinam nityam ya enam ajam avvayam katham sa purusham partha kam ghatayanti. So the person Veda vinas, the person who has this knowledge that soul is unborn, soul is eternal, having this knowledge, if you kill somebody, actually will not get the reaction because you have all the knowledge, Arjuna. And for the matter of duty, you are just performing the activity. So that is the verse 21 Krishna told. And then in the verse 22, Krishna, Arjuna may say that it's okay that the soul will not die, but Bhishma is loving his body. Everybody loves his body. So if I'll destroy the body, then he will get unhappiness, right? Then Krishna tells her, Vasansi jirnani yatha vyahaya navani dhranati naro parani. Just like when the cloth are too old, you throw the cloth, take a new cloth. Tatha sarirani vihaya jirnani antyani samyati navani dehi. Similarly, the soul also, when the body is old, the soul throws that body, it takes a new body. And it's a happy moment. Just like when you get a new cloth, all become happy. So Arjuna, when the soul gets a new body, really the soul is happy. So because you are not in that platform of the soul, you are bewildered. So don't worry. Actually, they will be happy. Bhishma will be happy to get a new body. Drona, and they will get a higher body because they are very pious people. So Bhishma, Drona, they will go to heaven and they will get a new good body. So really they are helpful. Just imagine if you are wearing a old teared cloth and somebody is giving you a nice brand cloth, so you'll be happy, right? Because it's a very good cloth. Similarly, Krishna is telling they all will get heaven and they all will get heavenly bodies. So really they will become happy. Don't become morose that they will be unhappy. You just continue your duty and you will not get any reaction. So this is the gist of these two words we discussed today, and 23 words we will discuss in the next week, Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. And now I'll open the forum for the question answer. You all can unmute yourself, and you all can ask any, if you have any comment or any questions, feel free to ask the questions. And those who have not attended, those who have missed the session, the recording is available in YouTube channel Abhimanyu Pran in English. You can see the recording if somebody missed the session. Every Wednesday we have this Gita Path session from 8:30 to 9:30. Yes, Hare Krishna. Now the forum is open. You all can unmute yourself, and if you have any comment or any point you want to share, some point what you liked, that also you can share, or any questions you have, please.